This is round 5 of the ERC 2015. We're back on mainland Europe. Fast tarmac of northwest Belgium. It's the famous Ypres Rally, characterised by long straights, tight corners. The rally hitting the farmland, surrounded of course by historic battlefields. This is how the drivers stand coming into this rally. After the Azores, Craig Breen leading Geko Ypres by a margin of 14 points. Couldn't really be more different to the Azores. No less weighty. On board with Kevin Abring. Qualifying stage yesterday. For all the ERC drivers, well, stage result determines, of course, starting positions for the opening leg proper, and Abring quickest. So first choice for the starting order for the Dutchman. Freddy Loix of Belgium knows this course very well indeed. 9 times champion, going for a 10th. Second fastest on the stage, just 0.8 behind Abring. Just look at the cuts he's making here. Second choice for starting position then, and on this terrain, absolutely vital. Third fastest, 1.3 seconds behind Abring. Stefan Lefebvre in the 2.8 T16. Good run for him. Determined and looked like a man familiar with the roads. Third to choose his road position for today. So choice of starting order at noon, and Abring choosing third on the road, so not opening it. Wanting to see some marks out there. Freddy Loix choosing fourth on the roads. Focus on the marks left by Abring, presumably, in some of the braking zones. He knows Abring well, trusts him as well, that's crucial. So it'll be good lines set for Loix out there. What about Lefebvre, fifth on the road, using the traces left by both Abring and Loix. And Breen going for fourth quickest time. Kaiser, 8th fastest on the stage, so, and going for 8th on the road. Breen choosing second, incidentally. So just one driver going out in front of him. Huge crowds in the marketplace of Ypres. Same, of course, on the stages. Drivers love it here, the crowds likewise, great interchange and interaction. Get very close to your heroes in this game. 7 stages then, 3 of them, Dikkebus, Weischatter and Messer will be run twice. This is Fast Freddy. Hello, I'm Freddy Loix. I want to show you the 3 tyre compounds that we'll be using during this rally. So the 01, the R11, the R21. The R01 in case of a lot of water on the road, 10 Celsius or less. The R11 or ELF is meant for cold, damp conditions, but we're not too much water, between 10 and 15 Celsius. And we use the R21 for conditions like we have now. About 20 degrees with no rain. Geen regen indeed. Local hero Loix out of the service park in Ypres. Big rally battle beckoning. Well, at the wheel of a brand new Skoda R5, it's an ERC first. Been developing and testing this car for 18 months now. Rally starting with a loop of 4 stages then. Out to do battle, Fast Freddy. Perfect weather conditions for the start of the 51st edition of the Ypres Rally. Well, you think the terrain is featureless. Yes, it's flat, but the roads are more than difficult. Taking big cuts, trying to essentially just make yourself some banking out there is the trick of the game. Trouble is going too deep and you risk punctures, and of course if it gets skittery and a lot of earth is dragged onto the tarmac, then it does start to get a little bit slippy. Thankfully no rain, so Loix and Gitzels about to get underway. Landemark, Dikkerbus, the first two. Well, lots of cooping going on. Fourth on the road. A few small moments on stage one. Third fastest on stages 1 and 2, though, Freddy. And just look at the pace. Well, if you happen to be a co-driver, this would be your view. Interrupted by fast hands, of course, if you happen to be the driver, and they need to be quick. Freddy is. So working hard at the wheel, third in the standings, 3.8 seconds behind Breen. Those onboards really something to behold. So Breen and Martin about to get underway, second on the road. Car said to be handling very, very well. Well, teething troubles of last year for the 208 T16 seem to be a thing of the past. It's running beautifully, and so is this pairing. Too cautious, though, on stage 2. Second fastest on stages 1 and 2.
Slot late, 5 left plus, clip.
I guess when you've got a lot to lose, then there's a lot at stake. Fabulous cuts, as you saw.
Flat 1 left, 70, flat 1 right, 100. Flat 1 right maybe, clip of a crest bump, 80. Slight right of a crest, slow in 100. Slot 3 left minus sharp, big down.
Well, it should look easy. Kim and Average, third on the road. Well, if it looks easy, it's anything but out there. Understeer in the slow parts for Average in his Citroen DS3R5. Engine not working well. A problem with the pop-up valve. And a mistake on the right-hand corner on stage 1, halfway. And unfortunately for him, damage to the left front tyre. The fan cam shows you where he went too deep, where he really shouldn't have done. Fastest time on stage 1 despite his mistake, showing you how close to the limit he was, and quickest in 2. And so Average, despite that moment, leading 6.6 seconds ahead of Breen.
En opens afval. En absoluut links over small crest afval. En 80 turn, links 30 keepen.
Stefan Lefebvre in contemplative mood. Fifth on the road, fifth fastest on stage 1. Fourth on stage 2. And so fourth in the standings. 1 second behind Loix. Some glorious work as well from Brian Bouffier, 6th on the road, first appearance in the 2015 ERC. He does have a broken schedule on occasion. Well, Bouffier currently competing in the Polish Championship with the DS3R5. Well, you heard the beat. Span on stage 1, into a ditch on stage 2. Just tipping it with the left rear wheel. 9th quickest on stage 1, 6th on stage 2, and 7th in the standings, despite his excursions, should we put it that way. Martin McCormack. McCormack, O'Reilly, great pairing. Enjoying themselves. 7th on the road, a big moment on stage 1 in 6th gear. Well off, unfortunately, in the following test. An overshoot, finishing into a bank. but did manage to resume the stage. Still on the road after stage 2. 16th overall. A brutal run. We think it's okay. Abraham and Sean then leading by 6.6 seconds ahead of Breen and Martin. Loix and Gitzels 10.4 seconds down. Lefebvre and Prévost 11.4. Princeton next up ahead of Kaiser, Bouffier, Bashurin, Moffitt and Orzak. In a few moments we'll be back with more from Ypres, and there's an awful lot more. Stay with us. Welcome back to Ypres for round 5 of the 2015 ERC. Abraham in the lead after stage 2, 6.6 seconds ahead of Breen. Loix is third, 10.4 seconds behind. Abraham, Lefebvre fourth, Princeton fifth. Confirmation of how they stand then. Yet more monuments to those who've lost their lives on these fields. Battle zone in both world wars, of course. Thankfully, combat these days, automotive. Kevin Abraham, second fastest time on stage 3, still in the lead. Puncture though on stage 4, and it meant that he lost 23.6 seconds. As a result, losing the lead, dropping to 5th in the overall standings, showing that you just can't rely entirely on skill, or indeed the machinery. Luck plays a huge part.
I know which corner, I know when it happened, or where it happened, but I can't explain it.
Well, just a piece of flint would do it. Freddy Loix fighting understeer, only 6th fastest on the stage 3, losing another position in the overall standings and dropping to 5th.
Rechtsafvol lang sluit en 75 rechtsafvol.
Also got a self-puncture on stage 4, as did Abraham, losing another 15 seconds and dropping to 6th overall after stage 4. Disappointment, it's part of the game.
I know where I had a small tack in my wheel. But it was not that far away from the finish, so I don't know exactly. But okay, we lost a lot of time, of course.
Could have been a lot worse if it had happened earlier. Craig Green, 3rd fastest on stage 3, 2nd fastest on stage 4. And you know what? Took the lead after stage 4 by a margin of 7.8 seconds. So perhaps the cautious approach paying off. If this is cautious, what is it? Fantastic pictures.
I've yet to have an Ypres where I come back into the first overs and not have any problems, so it's good to get the first tip out of the way, and look, we're still here.
Oh, indeed, and leading. Brian Bouffier, fastest on stages 3 and 4, no mistakes this time, and into 2nd place overall behind Breen. 7.8 seconds the margin between them. Bouffier, when he's in this kind of mood, and he's notorious for just getting on well with slippery surfaces. Well, would it be? Tougher it gets, Brian Bouffier just generally tends to stand up to it. Looking good.
This one was okay, and the stage before as well, so I'm happy I could enjoy the stages, and we are doing good time, and I think on this stage as well we will do a good time, so it's working well now, so hopefully I will not do some mistake again.
Well, about starting position for Chris Princeton, having spun during qualifying, of course, the previous evening. 22nd on the road, meaning coping with a lot of dirt out there that have been dragged on by others. 4th quickest though on stage 3, so kind of a gung-ho attitude, I guess you might say, but he knows this area. He's won here before. 3rd fastest on stage 4, climbing to 3rd overall after stage 4 and 8.4 seconds behind the leader Breen. Stefan Lefebvre would envy that, having some problems with the pop-off valve. Joint 3rd with Princeton, both 8.6 seconds behind Breen. Well, everyone's going to get problems. It's how you cope with them. Breen, for the time being, seems to be clear of them. Cautious approach, as we mentioned. Breen and Martin leading by 7.8 seconds ahead of Bouffier. Princeton, Lefebvre and Abbring rounding out your top 5, with Freddy Loix leading the chasers, 19.5 seconds down. Time then to have a look at the ERC Juniors now. It's the 4th round of the FIA ERC Junior Championship as well. 13 drivers, all under the age of 27, battling for the victory in the junior class. Well, the RACB national team chose for the last couple of years Gino Bux to represent the Belgian flag. 4th overall last year for his first season in the rally. Had some difficulties in 2015, but really wants success in front of this home crowd and a rally where he has gained much of his experience, which bodes very well.
Je l'ai découvert l'année passée parce que je n'avais
I discovered the rally last year because I hadn't actually been before as a spectator, and I followed the rally for a long time, and this rally is so far from my home. I live 300 kilometers away, so I discovered it last year in the rally car and finished 4th. Doing a smart race without any mistakes, and it's difficult, it's very quick, a lot of cuts and curves, really fast, and not small cuts either. Put half the car in the ditch sometimes at 160, 170 kilometers an hour, so it's crazy out there, but you've just got to be motivated and, frankly, get used to it. Leader of the championship, the Swedish driver Emil Bergqvist, already has experience on tarmac. He won the Opel Adam Cup last year in Germany and proved also this season by winning the Circuit of Ireland rally.
On tarmac, I think I also feel good on tarmac. We did a good result in Ireland, and we bring this to here and try to do the best out of it.
Meanwhile, for the title, Chris Ingham won the last rally in the Azores. He's confident because he has a lot of experience in Eden.
It's my 3rd time at this rally, so I know the roads fairly well. We had a test in the wet on Monday, so I'm feeling pretty prepared. Ypres is definitely a rally. It's one of my favourites. I mean, the atmosphere is incredible here. It's one of the best in Europe, so bring it on.
Indeed. Let's start with the action. First leg has 7 stages, a total distance of 83 kilometres. Newcomer Eric Junior and Joachim Wegemans started the competition in 2012. On his home soil, pushed too hard, had a spin in the first stage, damaged the car a little, unfortunately. Was able to continue though, and after losing 1:35 because of the crash, not battling for the overall victory, but showed his speed, and fastest indeed on stage 4. Good for him not letting his head drop. Grashin and Dimitri Lebedik, surprised by the speed of the others on the first stage, started the day 9th overall, felt good with the car and had to push a little bit more. Latvian driver will be able to make his way back to 6th place overall. Consistent results for him. This is Grashin looking out right now in their Peugeot 208 R2. Lots of great work out there, and Diego Goigo running well with Jorge Carvalho. 5 drivers battling it all day long for the lead, and Gego, I beg your pardon, lost contact in the last 2 stages, unfortunately. Finished 5th overall, 29 seconds behind the leader. Chris Ingham, same scenario. Ingham doing battle with Gago. Peugeot driver didn't find a good setup today, but the car unstable, getting dangerous, had to push. Gavin Moreau working hard to keep him where he should be. 4th overall after leg 1. Had to find a good solution to his imbalance to catch the 28 seconds that he lost on the day. Well, with no testing on tarmac before the rally, Alex Zawada, certainly the biggest surprise of the day. Cathy Derozo, going for him last year. Leading the rally, of course, but unfortunately broke down. Mechanical problems. Fastest, though, in 1 and 3 here. And Zawada working a lot with his notes and the co-driver, Cathy. Good teamwork. This is Bergqvist with Joachim Schoberg. Top 3. 100% with Opel, and 2 factory cars in front. Opel Motorsport giving its best to the young drivers, which is great. Well, they tested for 2 weeks in Belgium during a national rally just to find the perfect setup, and it's paid off. 5 seconds gap at the top. Ypres running well. Second place. Marianne Gabriel, German, also on an Opel with Stefan Clements. Won the last 3 stages, never quit the lead of the rally since stage 5. And Gabriel, Greibel, I beg your pardon, a brilliant leader. There he is, Greibel and Clements, by 5.5 seconds ahead of Bergqvist and Schoberg after the opening leg. Stay with us. We'll be back with more of this. How could you resist? See you in a moment. Welcome back to Ypres. Storm clouds are gathering. Breen leading after stage 4 ahead of Bouffier, Princeton, Lefebvre and Avring. Heading for stages 5, 6 and 7, which are rerun of stages 2, 3 and 4. Well, there was service after stage 4, and as those dark clouds started to just embellish the countryside, Freddy Loix, who dropped to 6 overall, receiving a message that it's raining in the first stage of the second loop. Loix changes last minute to 2 soft tyres in the front.
Make the pressure.
Ready, mate. Let's go. Break. Break.
Well, it was a risk. Finally, no rain, as predicted. Romain Dumas out there, 5th quickest on stage 7, leading the R-GT category, ahead of Delacour, Duez and Steyers. 9th overall. Nice to hear that squealing 911 GT3 RS. More of a howl than a squeal, but anyway. Kevin Avring, fastest on stage 5, rolled 3 times on stage 6 into fields. So after his excursion looking for mushrooms, Avring and Schoen were 2nd overall in the standings, ahead of the incident. Well, let's hope they're okay to continue. Pushing hard is one thing. The limit, though, once you find it, is easy to step over. Freddy Loix, 5th on stage 5, 4th, stages 6 and 7. Great battle with Kevin Princeton for 5th, 3.3 seconds between the 2 Belgians. Freddy apparently still discovering the car, despite the fact he's had quite some time as part of the development of the machine. I guess changes are made. What did Freddy have to say?
You know, it's the first time we are driving here with the car, and we found a few things who could be improved. Let's say like that. The car feels okay, but not quick enough on the changing directions. And for the rest, it's still a long way to go. So no panic, but we have to move on.
Onwards and upwards then. Stefan Lefebvre fighting with Bouffier for 2nd overall. Good day for him, no mistakes, and indeed some good fortune as well. 6.1 seconds behind Bouffier in the standings, Lefebvre. Well, good showing by the French marques, not just Peugeot, of course, with the 208 T16, but Citroën and their DS3 R5. Front balance missing from Lefebvre's car, but Bouffier, fastest time on 6 and 7, 2nd overall, but now closing just 4.6 seconds behind Breen. Well, always great if you manage to finish a leg better than you actually started it. Brian Bouffier is a constant in that regard. Applies his trade all over Europe. Great to see him functioning here. The top 3 covered by just 11 seconds at this point.
of a small bump, slow in 90, late 4 left, medium cut late, 70, slow in crest, 60 slot, hairpin right, don't.
Clean and tidy in the office, clean loop as well, third fastest on stages 5 and 7 for Craig Breen, second fastest on 6, and guess what? Leading the rally.
We're still here. Like I said, I've had so many terrible Friday evenings in Ypres before, so to hopefully come to the end of the first leg in the lead, it's probably more than I could have expected there.
He does look focused when he's in the car, especially at Ypres, and it seems to be working well. Breen leads by 4.6 seconds. Lefebvre 10.7 behind. Princeton and Loix all within 25 seconds of Breen. It's tight at the top in Ypres after leg 1. Ten stages tomorrow, almost cruel. 4 loops, sunny day expected, final stage at 21:30 local time. That though, at least for today, is it. We'll see you tomorrow for the final day at the Kenetec Ypres Rally. My name's Carlton Kirby. Don't miss it. It's always fabulous.